Baal Tanya lived in his house together with his son Rabbi Dovber. The Baal Tanya lived in the second floor, and his son Rabbi Dovber lived in the first floor. The Rabbi Dovber was in nature, his concentration was very deep. So much, when he used to sit and daven, or he used to sit and learn, nothing was existing or disturbing on the way because he was so deep in his learning. One day, he had his son laying in the corner of the room. In the crib, the baby fell out from the crib. The baby started to cry. But the father, Rabbi Dovber, heard nothing because he was so deep in his learning and davening. His father, the Baal Tanya, that lived right above them, he was also deep in his learning. But when he heard the child crying, he went down from the second floor to the first floor. He picked up the child from the floor, took care of the child, did not leave the place unless he knows that the child has everything that he needs and is comfortable enough, put him back in the crib and went upstairs. Many weeks later, he called his son in and he lectured his son about this particular story. And he said, I understand the importance of davening, the importance of learning, the most important things. But it should never be a situation that you don't hear a child crying. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe takes this story and says, when we hear a story, the story is a lesson for us. When we hear a child in our generation cries for any reason and may be, we should be able to leave the most important things and feel with them the pain and do everything and anything to make this child comfortable. Whether it's a pain that he has because it's a physical problem or a spiritual problem, we have a mission to bring him back. Sometimes it's a cry that you see in his face that the child is crying, but sometimes it's an inside cry that the man himself does not realize that his soul is crying and begging to come back to the Father. Like Reuven said in our parasha, he told the brothers, I told you, Al tichtu bayeled. We should not sin for the child. In other words, we should bring him back to our Father in heaven. This parasha, Parshat Vayigash, we learn that finally Yosef reveals himself to his brothers and he says, my dear brothers, Ani Yosef, I'm Yosef. What made him in this point of time to reveal himself and say, I'm Yosef? And the answer is, he realized that they have feelings. They said before, it says, Aval, you hear them saying, Aval Ashemim Anachnu. It's our fault. Sherainu tzarat nafsho. We see the trouble that he is in, the pain. Beit chaneno eleinu. He begged on his situation. But what did we do? We did not listen. We just left them cry. We didn't care about anything. We showed zero feelings to him. And therefore that's what we suffered. When he saw that they repent, they understand that they had no feelings to him. Didn't show feeling. That the problem is that he didn't show feelings to someone's cry. And they see that now they repent. especially after he saw how much they're fighting that it should not happen the same thing to his brother Benjamin. He said, oh, once they repent, they did tshuva, it's time to reveal myself, Ani Yosef. And this is a lesson to us. How much do we have to have feeling to someone else? Sometimes someone comes to us and he cries to us about the situation that he is. We don't even pay attention. The lesson is how much we have to have a feeling to someone else. Sometimes when he reveals himself and he tells us what he goes through, sometimes when we see it, this is the lesson that we learn out. And like the Rebbe finished in the letter and he said, what Reuven said, bring him back to the place. Al tichtu b'yeled. Bring him back to his father. Bring him back to his Father in heaven. In spiritual, in physical life, do not leave him. Like the Balatani did not leave the child till he got everything that he needs and he was comfortable. We see someone suffers, do not leave him till you feel that till the guy is comfortable and he's fine, then you can leave him. That's what we learn out from this parasha. And that's what Yosef did. And that's what we have to learn in our daily life. Shabbat Shalom.